Dun da da da. What is going on, everyone? Alaska, what up? Am I first? Yes, you were first. And if you ain't first, you're last. Remember that. I think Q said that one time, maybe. Maybe it was Q. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But what's going on, guys? Another crazy, absolutely insane news day as usual. Like I don't know if I'm gonna know how to act. Like, I'm so used to the chaos at this point. I want to date AOC. I mean, yeah, okay. I mean, I'm with you. I've like if you watch that documentary, Bringing Down the House, you get to see her husband. Her husband's in it a little bit. She's been with the same guy forever, I think. But unfortunately, for now, she is taken. And she seems like a pretty solid lady, so I doubt she would be cheating. But anyway. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do after all the chaos subsides. You know what I mean, there'll always be, from now on, we're always going to have a crazy right wing. But I think it will pull back a little bit as far as being in the mainstream every single day. Like right now, it's like what everybody's talking about. It's that new hot stuff everyone wants to talk about. But when it gets back into the depths like it was before, like, I don't know if I'm going to know what to do. Like, can we just go back to talking about policy at this point? No deep state cabals? Like, I don't know. What am I going to do if we're not talking about deep state military cabals? One of the new theories today, because I downloaded Telegram the other day, which is the app they all moved to. I don't know if she's married, but I know she's had a really long... I don't know if she's married or if she has had a really long time boyfriend. She's had a boyfriend for at least ever since she's been in politics. I actually did phone calls for her on her very first campaign. Did like text banking, all that stuff. I don't remember what I was talking about now. He's a basic ginger white boy. Yeah. He is kind of a basic white boy. But, you know, gotta get a win for the basic white boys every once in a while. But, oh, I know what I was going to say. One of the new Biden is going down on Inauguration Day talking points is one of the security firms that he hired is called Checkmate. So they think that, you know, that somehow plays into it's like a checkmate. I don't know. Like, somehow that means that he's like checkmating himself. It doesn't have to make sense, but you know what I mean. That's basically what they think. Like, this is something. So we're gonna go over the Telegram stuff a little bit. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love a basic white boy? Any of you guys on Twitch, the links to my YouTube, and any of you guys on TikTok, the links to my YouTube and my Twitch are in my bio. If you want to come over here so you can get the full stream experience. But yeah, with that said, looks like people are funneling in. Let's get into it, as one of my mutuals would say. So we got some. Let me switch scenes here real quick. So we got some really good or really bad, depending on how you look at it, new footage of the Capitol attacks. Also, the Washington Times did the Washington Post, not the Washington Times. They're terrible. The Washington Post did a really good piece on the attacks and the timeline, so you might check that out too. Somebody just did something. I got a notification about something. Oh, new followers. Samuel Bramwell. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it. By the way, any of you guys that like my live streams, if you could follow me on Twitch, I'd really appreciate it. You can also check out the Discord. Links to everything of mine are always in the description, whether you want to support me on Patreon, support the stream with PayPal, if you want to subscribe to me on Twitch, follow me on TikTok, Twitter, all that other shit. It's all in the description. You want to write me a love letter? In the description. Whatever you want to do. But anyway, let's check out the footage. This is the stuff, I don't know if you guys saw my TikTok earlier, where the guy's talking about, oh, Cruz would want me to do this. off topic, but look how fast they put a barrier around the Capitol. Meanwhile, the maggots had it planned for over a month. Well, they're overcompensating now. They weren't prepared before. Somehow, I don't know. Like the Washington Post piece that I just found right before I went live. I watched a little bit of it, but they were so underprepared because they didn't take it seriously, you know, because it's a bunch of middle-aged white dudes. Obviously, they're not going to take that threat seriously. Even though, like I said, anybody should have known it, but now they're overcompensating and, you know, fucking acting like they're invading a small country.
Is this the Senate? Where the fuck are they?
Look, it's a PR war, okay? You have to understand it's an IO war. We can't lose the IO war.
We're better than that.
Says the guy with the fucking handcuffs in his hand. Oh, you can't really see him there. Yeah. This guy says we can't lose the IO war, which is like information operation, I think is what it means. But that's the guy. This is one of the military guys. This shows you, like, this video really shows you how different the two sets of people were. Because this guy came in like he had a mission, like capture and who knows what, take hostages. This guy's like taking selfies. You know what I mean?
Information operation.
There's gotta be something in here we can fucking use against these scumbags.
That fucking guy, man.
Him and Lawler or whatever.
Cruz, I think Cruz would want us to do this, so
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we're good.
Now I know I said it earlier, but can you just imagine if there was a video of a couple people at any one of the BLM protests or any of the stuff in Portland, or if one of the people in Chaz was like, AOC and Ilhan would want us to do this. We're doing this for them, or like reassuring themselves in any way that this is what the squad wanted. Like they had to make, they constantly spread lies about things they said on TV, and they still get upset about that. Like they push out things that aren't even true about what they said when it came to those protests, and they're still upset about it. Like these guys openly said, and there's more in this video, these guys openly are saying like, oh yeah, like I genuinely believe that these people think they did nothing wrong, a lot of them, because they're just like, yeah, I mean, well, Trump wanted us to do that. That's what he said. Especially if they're into QAnon and all that stuff, and they've been on these message boards for a while. Like, yeah, no, Holly and Cruz, they would want us to do this. This is a good thing. And then they get arrested by the FBI, and they're like, wait, what? Like, not all of them, but there's a section of them that genuinely think they did absolutely nothing wrong.
What is it?
And these people just went in there and took selfies. Yeah, the people that brought a noose and made hang Mike Pence trend didn't have any ill intention. That's right. You guys on TikTok, I'm watching the New Yorker video from the Capitol riots. It just came out. It's some really good footage. The links to my YouTube and Twitch are in the bio if you want to come over so you can see it.
If they don't fix this shit, we're gonna
You think this is one fucking day?
Millions of Americans are out.
To protect the Constitution of the United States against enemies, foreign and domestic!
Watch out, watch out.
fucking million of us out there, and we are listening to Trump. You're the boss. It's sad. It's sad.
Y'all heard that, right? Y'all heard that. There's a million of us out there, and Bubba Gump Shrimp Company over here says they're listening to his boss. Like, they're like, hey man, we're listening, we're taking orders from the big guy. He told us to come in here and do this. So this kind of goes into the whole, like, I don't know, I always see the argument on TikTok, are you responsible for your audience? Like, if I stitch a video, I mean, it's obviously at a way higher scale, you know, because he's the fucking president. But, like, how responsible are you for your audience? And at what point do you take culpability for the things that you spout? And I personally think you have a responsibility to put out good information, and you are responsible for your audience to an extent, you know what I mean? Anyway, let's continue. I mean, when I hear whose house, that's kind of what I think. Yeah.
Let the people in.
We love you guys. Take it easy. Ain't no way.
Let us in here, you some bitches. We're storming through here. All right, peace and love, guys. We'll see you later. Like, I don't know. Listen, about to jam him with a flag.
Defend your Constitution! Defend your liberty! Defend your Constitution! Defend your liberty! Defend your Constitution!
1776!
You're afraid of Antifa? Well, guess what? America showed up!
Where's the rest of everybody? There's not enough of us. They're gonna bring vets in or something.
My God. You know, it's so, like, all these people, all the guys especially, they think they're like the Joker. They think they're like some kind of cool, edgy, like, lone wolf, you know, going in there, kicking ass and taking names. Like, we're here, America's punching back, all you lib shits. We're in here to take names and kick ass. It's like, oh, God, why, how do we get here? How do we get here, guys? I swear, like 6 months ago, when I first started being like, I think we got a problem here with all this Q propaganda. And then never in a million years did I think we'd get here. You know, I thought we'd just, you know, have some family issues with people that are pilled, and, you know, one or two, you know, terrorist type attacks, you know, periodically. I mean, I never saw this.
Where the fuck are they? Where are they?
While we're here, we might as well set up a government.
Hey, let's take
I
a
don't
seat,
think that's how it
people!
works, boss.
Let's take a seat!
Hey, Nancy Pelosi.
Let's vote on some shit!
Whatever the fuck is Nancy?
Let's set up a government.
Pay for it! This is our house.
No, this is our chair.
I agree with you, brother, but it's not ours. It belongs to the Vice President of the United States when he's in here. It's not our chair. Look, I love you guys, you're brothers, but we can't be disrespectful.
Like, I understand, like, you know, because these people do understand it's bad optics, but I love how he's worried about the optics after they've stormed the Capitol building. While he's got zip tie handcuffs in his hand. Like, hey, man, I understand you want to sit down, but it's really bad optics. By the way, can you hold a couple of these? Like talking about missing the forest for the trees or whatever, how that goes. This is really bad handcuffs. By the way, take a couple. This is real. I can't even talk.
Look, it's a PR war, okay? You have to understand it's an IO war. We can't lose the IO war.
We're better than that.
LARP.
Information.
Hard LARP right there.
Information. We can't do it.
I want to just get a snap of that.
Yeah, I took a picture.
Hey, how did y'all get down there?
Go downstairs.
And look here, look.
Ted Cruz's objection to the Arizona.
His objection. He was going to sell us out all along. Really? Look.
This is funny.
Objection to counting electoral votes of the state of Arizona. Can I get a photo of that?
Wait, no, that's a
Oh, no, that's actually okay. All right, I'm pissed.
He's with us. He's with us. There's gotta be.
Ted was gonna sell us out all along. Oh wait, no, that's what we wanted him to do. Like, I thought, like, I love how they thought they were gonna break in here and find like some incriminating evidence, like cabal agenda for the week: kidnap children from Haiti, adrenochrome session at 4 o'clock, go over to Gloria's house to get more robes for the sacrifice. Like, I don't know, what did they think they were gonna find?
Something in here we can fucking use against these scumbags.
No, I don't think they do, Joe. Josiah, yeah.
America's a republic. Oh no, this is good stuff.
Hey! Quit acting a fool!
No, this is good. This is all good.
This is they got the footage from, this is a reporter for the New Yorker that's taking all of this. That's how they got this. He just rolled up in there with them. Luke Mogelson. Mogelson. Fucking Q Shaman will live in infamy the rest of his life.
Cruz, I think Cruz would want us to do this, so
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we're good.
Try that defense in court. And this part's just fucking comical.
Fucking hey, man. Glad to see you guys. You guys are fucking patriots.
This cop's he's just chilling. The Q Shaman walks in. There's a guy on the ground that apparently has gotten shot at some point by a rubber bullet. There's another dude just fucking around, and like, just watch this cop's like pathetic attempt to be like, come on guys, you need to stop that. Like, this is not nice.
Look at this guy. He's got.
Like, this is a police officer.
You good, sir? Do you need medical attention? I'm good, thank you.
There could have been a bomb in that bag.
I got shot in the face. Where are they? I got shot in the face with some kind of plastic bullet.
He's just on the phone. The floor of the Senate.
We will. I've been making sure they ain't disrespecting the place.
Oh, I bet. That's what you're doing.
I know. Hey, no, and I'm gonna take it.
You ain't the Q Shaman. He's in. He's full tilt.
I'm not one to usually take pictures of myself, but in this case, I think I'm making an exception. Hey, you and the Ray, can you take a picture of me? I'm throwing my phone.
This might be the oddest moment in history.
I ain't got a choice. There's 500,000 people here. You want straight on? You should be stopping us. No. He's doing one, two, three.
You know, he's just like on the phone with his cousin or something. Fuck yeah, Roger, they just let us in here. I mean, they ain't got no choice. 500,000 patriots out there. We just stormed up in this sumbitch. I got shot in the face, though. Can't even smoke a cigarette. They won't. Cop keeps yelling at me. It's ridiculous. Man can't smoke a cigarette on the floor of the Senate. What kind of country is this coming to?
He's doing the right thing. He's obeying his oath.
I'm making sure you guys don't do anything else. Now that you've done that, can I get you guys to walk out of this room, please?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I would greatly appreciate it.
This quickly falls apart, by the way.
Hey, come on, man. Come on, man.
This is our capital. Let's be respectful to him. There's 4 million people coming in, so there's a lot of control. We love you guys.
Imagine thinking they could hold 4 million people in there.
It's only a matter of time. Justice is coming.
Over 4 million people are
And
everywhere, all the way back to the monument.
Proud Boy alert.
Jesus Christ, we invoke your name. Amen. Amen.
Imagine trampling over people, killing a cop, and then rolling up in here and being like, in the name of Jesus, we detest this election. I detest it so much.
Let's all say a prayer in this sacred space.
Thank you, Heavenly Father, for gracing us with this opportunity.
Like, I'm not sure how this is real life.
Thank you, Heavenly Father,
Amen.
for this opportunity to stand up for our God-given unalienable rights. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for
He made sure to take his hat off.
the inspiration needed to these police officers to allow us in this building, to allow us to exercise our rights, to allow us to send a message to all the tyrants, the communists, and the globalists, that this is our nation, not theirs. That we will not allow the American way of the United States of America to go down. Thank you, divine, omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent Creator God, for filling this chamber with your white light of love. With your white light of
white,
harmony.
very white
Thank
light.
you for filling this chamber with patriots that love you and that love Christ. Thank you, divine, omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent Creator God, for blessing each and every one of us here and now. Thank you, divine Creator God, for surrounding and filling us with your divine, omnipresent white light of love and protection.
This guy's really
and
getting
harmony.
into it.
Thank you for allowing the United States of America to be reborn. Thank you for allowing us to get rid of the communists, the globalists, and the traitors within our government. We love you and we thank you. In Christ's holy name we pray.
Like, they legit thought the storm was happening. They thought this was the start of the storm. There was going to be mass arrest. All the globalists were going to be rounded up. And then here comes the Great Awakening. And then everything will be solved. Yeah. They basically, like, what they want is like a communist state, but they don't want to call it that. Is basically what they think is going to happen. Like, some of them think that, like, cures to diseases will be, you know, let into the public. Like, they think the elites have all the answers to everything. You know, they think some of them are hundreds of years old, and that's why they use adrenochrome. And that the storm will trigger all this, you know, to become, you know, dark to light. It'll come into the light, all this knowledge that only they currently know. Do the Proud Boys believe the Q stuff? No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm sure some of them do, but it's not really like their thing. I think they kind of use the Q people, you know, to further their agenda, because, you know, I don't think they outright disavow it. I've never seen them do that, but they don't preach the stuff, you know what I mean? They're like Western chauvinists, and women should know their place, and, you know, white European men are the best. You know, they're on that kick. But they're not big into the Q stuff as far as like preaching it.
We support you guys, okay? We support you guys. We support you guys, and we appreciate what you're doing. We know you're doing your job.
We support you guys. Cut to mass invasion of one of the entrances. When people say, "Oh, they just went in there and took a couple selfies," because they're trying to rewrite history. The biggest things I've heard is, "Oh, a few hundred people walked in and took some selfies. Big deal." And it was actually Antifa and BLM that led the riots. Like, it's kind of contradictory, but it's like, well, we didn't really do anything bad. And if anything was bad, it was done by BLM and Antifa. You know what I mean? Show the video. Come over to my... yeah, you can't see... You gotta go to the link in my YouTube and Twitch links are in my bio. I just go live on TikTok, so everybody knows that I'm live on YouTube and Twitch. The links are in my bio if you guys on TikTok want to come over. But yeah, they're two very kind of contradictory narratives. But, like, they try to absolve themselves from all responsibility. You know, and like, you know, there's the small group that's like, yeah, what they did was really messed up. But it's mostly like, it was Antifa.
What the fuck? Let's go!
That's, yeah, then they... I'm not sure what they're shooting. It's like... Like, I don't know much about, like, firepower. Are those, like, what do you call them? Like, flashbangs or something? Where are they shooting there? I mean, obviously, it's not bullets. It's, like, some kind of something.
Fucking pussy!
Or, like, smoke bombs? Oh, and then they destroy all the media stuff. Yeah, they were shooting fireworks too.
Hey, everybody, CNN is hiding out behind Union Station. Oh, their headquarters is over there.
I don't know where that is, though. I'm not from here.
Start making a list, put all those names down, and we start hunting them down one by one.
I'm sure he just wanted to hunt them down to talk to them, right? That was his goal. He wanted to make a list of names, start hunting them down one by one to open a dialogue, if you will. I'm betting that's what he wanted to do.
Traitors get guillotined!
We are at war. Right on. For us to go and kill one of us, and no matter what, even if it kills you, remain a free man. Die on your feet. Live on your knees. Fuck the AP and everything.
These fucking people watch Gladiator one too many times. I swear, that's like their whole personality.
Mobilize in your own cities, your own counties, storm your own Capitol buildings, and take down every one of these corrupt motherfuckers. We fucking listen to them. We allowed this to happen. Now we gotta change it. They abuse us, they laugh at us, they steal our money, they fucking lock us down.
Concession grenades? Concussion grenades? Yeah, man, yeah. It's something, whatever it did, it worked. So that was that. Yeah, I mean, that's a really, that's some of the best footage I've seen. The Washington Post did a good piece, and it kind of breaks down the timeline really good. But yeah, that's some really good footage, and it shows that, like, they actually, like, like the people that were doing scandalous shit this summer knew they were doing scandalous shit. Like, I don't agree with any of it, and I'm not a fan of any, because it never works. Because now, especially nowadays, burning and torching stuff is only gonna hurt your cause, whatever it is. But these people genuinely thought, a lot of them thought, they were doing the right thing. Like, they thought they were doing what they were supposed to do. And they were actually shocked. Like, I've shown you guys, I mean, you guys have seen it. I mean, you all watch the news and, follow me and several others on other social medias. You've seen these people are, like, asking for pardons from Trump. The Q shaman did. This other guy did. The realtor lady. That realtor lady that got arrested, she took a private jet to the insurrection. Like, these people aren't all, just, like, uneducated dummies. And that's another thing, like, I gotta, like, I'm trying to stop, like, just, it's fun to joke on them and all this stuff. But it's not just, like, dumb people that are getting swallowed up in this. Like, this lady right here, I read this piece in the New York Times earlier. Like, she is a Harvard graduate, like, super smart lady, a lefty, actually. She was involved in a lot of left-wing causes, and then she found the QAnon movement, and she became like a Facebook mom. But I'm not going to read that. But this lady, Lauren Camara, she wrote a good thread about how she lost a friend to it, and it kind of shows how it progresses slowly and how people just get sucked up into it. Yeah, lovely people to have dinner with and discuss, have a nice chat about, insurrectionist stuff. Yeah, the realtor lady was bad. Well, like I don't have any sympathy for these people, but I understand how it happens. Like I've seen it happen. I mean, my sister sent me a screenshot today of a couple high school friends of ours, because we went to this, you know, same high school, couple high school friends of ours that were posting today about how Nancy Pelosi was going to get arrested on Inauguration Day. And these are like people I know and grew up with, and they are full on believe, you know, in all the, you know, all the Q theories. You know, this is going to happen. Pedophile cabals, people are going to get mass arrested, Obama gate, you know, the whole 9 yards. And these people weren't even like really that political when I used to know them. It's like caught all these people that weren't really involved in politics, and it's completely radicalized them, which is a really weird thing. Like I can't really think of anything that's really ever done it like that. You know what I mean? Like it's a very unique thing in that way. Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't just go there and commit insurrection if you didn't think what you were doing was for a greater cause. Like they really thought they were going to go there and they were helping out Trump, or they were going to get the election overturned once their voices were heard. Like they actually thought that. And I mean, I could have told you that, you know, just you read the messages. These people spend hours and hours a day in these message rooms, on these message boards, and they get into this shit deep. But anyway, so I thought this was this lady, they called her the meme queen, because she posts like 30 memes a day. But this lady was talking about a friend that she her former best friend, and I thought it was a pretty interesting read. There are thousands of meme queens across the country. Let me introduce you to yet another one. Hold on, let me get a drink first. This stream is brought to you by Red Bull. Possibly, maybe not. We grew up together. We were inseparable throughout high school, drove to school together every morning, went on vacations with each other's families. Sometimes I went to church with her family. Sometimes she came to church with mine. We were in each other's weddings. She graduated from a good college and went into finance. She didn't like it much. She moved to California with her husband, went to nursing school, and became a delivery nurse. She loved it. She had a baby and then had 2 more, but she had a difficult time finding reliable childcare, not being near any family. She found it increasingly impossible to juggle work and children. She left her job and began selling women's clothing through LuLaRoe, however you say that. One of those pyramid scheme, blah, 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 for stay-at-home moms. As often happens with childhood friends, we drifted apart. This happened increasingly quickly after she moved to California, but it is also the case with childhood best friends. We stayed in touch via text, especially for birthdays and holidays. She has never been active politically, but in 2016, the election stirred something in her. She proudly posted she was part of the Never Clinton cabal, but she never posted about being pro-Trump. In fact, I didn't think she liked him much at the time or even voted for him. It happened very slowly at first. The Facebook and Instagram posts were only semi-offensive and far and few between. I had the privilege of being able to shrug it off. Besides, I had a lot going on too. A new baby and demanding job thousands of miles away. But then came the Pizzagate post. The post about the Clintons, the Obamas, the Gates, the others running a pedophile ring, eating babies, lots of pro-life posts and warnings about child trafficking. Whatever was happening to her intensified dramatically in March and April of 2019, around the time the coronavirus, I think she means 2020, but around the time that the coronavirus shuttered schools and businesses across the U.S. And that is so true. Like that 60 days, between March and April, like Fall of the Cabal came out end of January. TikTok started really getting popular at the beginning of last year. People started being home more. They started going down rabbit holes. And like I had followed Q before that and, it's kind of checked in on a little bit. But the amount of traffic for QAnon just shot up in March and April of last year. Like, that is when it became like a full-on kind of mainstream political ideology. And that's when QAnon candidates started, you know, getting popular and famous. Marjorie Taylor Greene became a thing, Lauren Boebert, all those people. But that is like the time when Q became Q. Okay, I was not that one. The post became angry, racist, and more bizarre. Photos proving Michelle Obama is a man, explainers about Bill Gates trying to change our DNA through vaccinations, full-on COVID denial. Suddenly, she was professing to be a patriot fighting for our country, began worshiping President Trump and reposting memes disparaging Joe Biden, his family, and other Democrats. What threw me off the most was just how angry and mean she was being. I've always tried to maintain a firewall between my career as a reporter and the politics of family and friends. That's something I'm actively reassessing after what's transpired these last 10 months. I flagged almost everything she posts to Instagram as false through the site's reporting system, but never confronted her personally. Her account was temporarily frozen a handful of times, so I know others were reporting her too. She always came back meaner, angry, and more sure that she was on the right side of history. Things came to a head for me personally on Friday when she posted memes supporting the rioters and the insurrection, posted images of a militarized Washington, D.C., and made references to future imminent attacks. I messaged her that what she was posting was disgusting and dangerous, that this city is my family's home, and that the person I knew her to be was better than this. I was expecting an apology or a change of heart. I didn't have any grand illusions of rekindling a friendship and driving off into the sunset for a girls' weekend. But I certainly wasn't expecting the wrath of hate spewed my way within 3 seconds of messaging her. Just you wait, she fired back. I know exactly what's happening. Sad you don't. If that don't hit the nail right on the head of every QAnon friend, family, aunt, uncle, that is so, like, they just can't wait for that day when they get to say, "Ha! Told you so." And don't for a second say you know me, she wrote. I tried to keep you. Okay, I guess she tried to keep her. But there was just nothing left between us. I'm sorry you have no idea what's happening, but your precious Biden will be behind bars. Did you know the inauguration is canceled? Did you know the Insurrection Act was signed on 1/9? Do you know how many assassination attempts have been made on our president in the last 4 years? Do you know that the riots were planned by BLM and Antifa? Did you know that the election was stolen by the Vatican and 5 other key players? I mean, she's checking every box. Do you think you're a journalist? But you think you're a journalist, but you're just brainwashed you're just as brainwashed as the people watching MSN. Stay home, don't go to work, keep your kids home, your city is going to be a war zone. There's more, but you get the idea. I didn't argue. I knew immediately how far gone she was. I wrote, "I love you," and then she blocked me on all social media. If you're reading this and you think you don't have friends and family this is happening to, I promise you're wrong. Check in on the people you love and make sure they're doing okay. You get the idea. There's like one other post. But yeah, I mean, man, if that don't... Some of HRC's emails were released, and then... Okay, who in this world knew about Epstein Island? A lot of people? Oh, God. Q made posts about Alice in Wonderland? Okay. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I'm gonna put you in timeout because you're destroying my chat here. Okay, you're in timeout now. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not dealing with that. If you just listen to all that and you're like, but she's probably right. No. But I mean, this is just happening all over America. This is like a thread you would read on the QAnon casualties thing, and it's just, you know, it's kind of sad. I mean, it is sad. You know, like, this lady grew up with this person, known her whole life. She's educated enough to get a finance degree, become a nurse, and it's just like the more you get into Q and the more you double down and triple down, and like, stuff doesn't happen, and they just become more hateful and just obsessed with proving you wrong, because they feel like, and in a way it's true, but they just feel like you're just constantly mocking them, and they're just going to show you because, you know, because they think they're the good guys, and they're going to show you that they're right, you're wrong, and that you just, the MSM has you so blind that you can't see it. And yeah, so Parler's back online using 8chan's hosting service. I'm sure Parler will get back online. There's other ways. There's other whatever the hell. I'm not very tech savvy, but you know. Cue the Ancient Aliens memes. Yeah, I used to watch Ancient Aliens, actually. It's overwhelming feeling, disappointing. But yeah, no, that one's just a bummer. And the worst part is at this point now, like, the movement doesn't even need Q. Like, Q is irrelevant at this point. Q has not posted since December 8th. That was the last time Q has posted. At this point now, it's its own thing. Trump can't stop it. Nobody can stop it. You know, 2 years ago, maybe even a year ago, had Trump come out and completely disavowed it, he would have been able to, you know, maybe slow it down. But at this point, he could come out and say Q is absolutely absurd. It's not true at all. You know, whatever. He could completely disavow it, and in a way, he's never disavowed anything. And they would still be like, nope, there was code in there. This proves that. Look at post 246. You know, something. Like, there's too many built-in alibis at this point. So it's just something we're going to have to live with. It might die down a little bit once Biden's inaugurated, but people aren't letting go. And, you know, just like that lady's friend, she is not fazed by anything. And on the 20th, when we all watch Biden get inaugurated, they will not be fazed, and they'll come up with another date. I've already seen, you know, March 15th, something to do with the Ides of March. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. It's always just going to move on to the next thing. And that's just, unfortunately, how it goes. I've seen some people talking about Trump being the one responsible for the QAnon thing, but that's just not true. Q was started by several different grifters. Most likely this guy named Paul Ferber and this other lady, with the help of, like, Jim Watkins, who owns the 8chan site. And most likely Jim and his son are the ones that took it over. Because there's a lot of stuff that points to Q being two different people, or just by the way he posted. But, you know, it definitely wasn't Trump, I don't think. Anyway, so yeah, well, we're gonna check out this video. If you guys could like the stream while you're here, really appreciate it. And follow me on Twitch, Discord in the description. And yeah, if you want to support the stream, all those links are in the description too. And you can also subscribe to me on Twitch, and then you get emojis. They're fancy. But this is a really good breakdown of, like, how things went on the day of.
We're going to walk down Pennsylvania Avenue. I love Pennsylvania Avenue. And we're going to the Capitol. We're going to try and give them the kind of pride and boldness that they need to take back our country.
On January
correct.
6th,
Paul's a South
hundreds of
African
Trump
guy.
supporters stormed the Capitol complex.
And that's another thing. Like, people, like, I've seen a lot of comparisons to when Maxine Waters said, push back on these Trump people. Well, first, that was said 3 years ago. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. The worst thing going on at the time when she said that was Sarah Sanders got kicked out of a restaurant for being part of the Trump organization. Oh, how far we have come. If, somebody on the left had a big rally and speech, and then immediately after that, they went down and attacked some shit. Like, you cannot tell me that the GOP would not be out for blood, the entire right wing. Like, I don't see how anybody can't say that Trump is not a little, at least somewhat culpable for what happened on that day, especially with all the bullshit that he was stirring the days before, the months before.
The insurrection was the worst breach of Capitol security since the War of 1812.
Q has destroyed my family. I am extremely sorry to hear that. That really sucks. I have a bunch of videos debunking QAnon stuff. I also have a series that debunks the fall of the cabal. It's on my YouTube channel. I don't know if that'll work, but it might be a good jumping off point. Also, all the sources are in there. Two of the videos are on my Twitch, by the way.
The siege led to widespread vandalism. More than 50 police officers were injured and 5 people died. The Washington Post examined hundreds of videos, analysed publicly available maps of the Capitol complex, gathered hours of police radio, interviewed dozens of witnesses, including members of Congress.
You know, when the plane's going down or the building's on fire, was this that calm?
And reviewed official communications to reconstruct how the pandemonium unfolded and retrace the peril that lawmakers faced. In the crucial first hour of the attack, the mob stormed through the Capitol, at times coming within feet of lawmakers or Vice President Pence. The Post used a facial recognition algorithm to analyse video from inside the Capitol and estimated that at least 300 rioters were inside the building while police struggled to evacuate lawmakers.
Now, I read about this a little more. He says 300, but that's only 300 people they could facially recognize. There was more in there, but that's the only ones that they could actually, from the cameras, use the facial recognition thing to say, this is a different person. But there was definitely more people in there than that.
Members of the mob violently clashed with outnumbered police, and in some instances appeared to be looking for members of Congress.
I'm sure he wants to discuss detailed policy.
Lawmakers in both the House and Senate chambers are meeting to certify electoral votes for President-elect Joe Biden. Outside, a man uses a police shield to smash a window. He was seen earlier that day with members of the Proud Boys, a far-right group with a history of violence. A group from the crowd enters the Capitol, a floor below where the Senate is in session. A minute later, at 2:13, Pence is ushered off the Senate floor to a nearby office. Senate President Pro Tem Charles E. Grassley begins presiding, but almost immediately calls a recess.
What I don't understand about this process is, like, they usher out people, like, kind of going from the top of the ticket all the way down. But I don't understand why they just didn't get everybody the hell out of there. Like, once they knew that shit was going down, like, they didn't remove Pence until 2:13. Why not just remove everybody at that point? I really, like, they did that with Nancy Pelosi too. Like, I really don't understand it. Like, I guess that's just how they roll.
And it will stand in recess until the call of the chair.
We'll pause.
Protesters are in the building.
Thank you.
Grassley is escorted out of the Senate chamber.
So they take him out. This guy's just like, cool your jets. Like, they're in there almost. Or they are, yeah.
At that moment, one floor below the Senate chamber, rioters enter and begin pursuing a lone Capitol police officer, Eugene Goodman, up a staircase to the second floor. They are nearing the chamber, which is filled with lawmakers.
This guy was the MVP of the Capitol Police.
Second floor!
The rioters at one point passed within 100 feet of where Pence is huddled with his family.
That's crazy. 100 feet, just right over there. Pence is right over there, 100 feet with his family. These sumbitches who screaming, hang Mike Pence. Like, man, God, I can't imagine what would, Mike Pence is a fuck, but I don't want him to get brutally murdered by these fucking people. I just want him to, be deplatformed and never be in office again. Him and his terrible fucking views.
Goodman leads the mob away from a nearby entrance to the chamber and toward a line of police.
What's the point of stopping this at this point? What's the point of stopping this at this point?
Oh, you want us to leave? Just go arrest the vice president. I mean, yeah, listen, we'll leave. You go arrest the vice president. Jesus.
Around 2:15, the doors to the Senate chamber are locked.
A bunch of senators just ran out of the session.
This is crazy right here. This guy is a member, he's a West Virginia state delegate. And he's out here and he's like, they just made a bunch of senators leave the chamber. What a traitorous bastard.
Yep. A bunch of senators just ran out of their session.
Oh, did they?
That's what they said.
Whoa!
Yes. Senators ran out of their session.
Senators ran out of the session.
Yes.
What a fucking goofball.
As the crowd grows, the mob fills the halls of the Capitol and police struggle to gain control. The rioters splinter off into different factions throughout.
Yeah, that's very true, Katie. Can you imagine watching this being like, holy fuck, that's Daryl. I knew he was up to some shit. I knew Daryl was up to some shit. Them Facebook posts, it's been real weird lately.
The building. The House is still in session.
I don't know why my people always
Senators
have
wait in the
southern
chamber.
accents.
Well, I kept thinking how the day before I had driven my husband to the airport to come back to Minnesota.
I'm trying to
and
cuss
he said,
less,
"Now be careful, I'm
Keith.
worried about you.
That's my new
there's
Year's
all this talk
resolution.
about
It's always
what could
Daryl.
happen." And I said, "Don't worry. The United States Capitol has got to be one of the safest places in the country."
Sorry there, Tina.
Senator Smith
That's
texted
not
with her
the
family
case.
about her safety. A group of rioters move toward the northeast
Thanks.
side of the Capitol, where officers attempt to push them out of the building.
You gotta do it from outside. Sorry, you gotta do it from outside. Come on. Come on, guys.
Or completely erased from President Trump's total.
On the south side, the House continues proceedings even as the Senate is locked down. Representative Paul Gosar has the floor, but members are restless.
I love that it was Paul Gosar, one of the people that was apparently involved in promoting and funding that one guy, Ali Alexander, who said he worked with Paul Gosar, Mo Brooks, and I can't remember who the other one was at this point, but he worked with 3 members of Congress to plan this whole thing. I think it's crazy that he was the one that was speaking when these people burst into the Capitol. He's got a weird way about him.
Mr. Speaker, can I have order?
Kind of looks like
in the
he's
chamber?
tweaking, doesn't it?
The House will be in order. The House will be in order. Okay.
Andy Biggs.
Police
yep,
announce the
that's it.
attack on their radio channels.
The Capitol has been breached.
House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer is escorted out of the chamber, and the House goes into recess. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has already been evacuated.
See, there again, I don't understand that. Why? I mean, okay, Nancy Pelosi's the speaker. We don't want anybody to die. If it's, if it's bad enough to get Pelosi out, why aren't we getting the whole Congress out. I just don't understand that. Unless I don't know how long ago they ushered Pelosi out, but I'm assuming it wasn't that much longer.
At 2:19, Capitol Police issue an alert on a, quote, security threat inside the building. By 2:25, the size of the mob swells in the crypt, the room right under the Capitol Rotunda, and violent rioters crush the police.
If somebody is, I'd say she
At the same time, on the floor above, another lone Capitol Police officer fights to keep an entrance to the Rotunda closed, but is overpowered by the mob.
Cops just like kind of pushing at people.
Rioters stream through the now open main doors on the east side of the building.
Stop it.
They flood through the Rotunda and into Statuary Hall, moving toward the House chamber, where as of 2:26, representatives have resumed session.
We could hear a lot of the noise from the rioters who were entering, and we were getting alerts on our phones about the Capitol being breached, and yet, everything was still continuing on the floor, and we couldn't understand it.
Rioters enter House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, like they were still going. Like while this was all going on, they were still in session.
Suite.
Very odd.
Members of Pelosi's staff hide under a table in the conference room.
Texting Mike that they're within our hall. We need Capitol Police, I think, coming to the hallway. They're pounding on doors trying to find her.
Imagine hiding
Rioters
under a
gather
desk
near the
for
House
these
chamber
people.
entrance.
Well, we came this far. What do you say? Drag him out! Drag him out!
Again, don't let anyone tell you that they just went in there and made selfies, took selfies. That might have been like some of them's plan, but not all of them. That's for damn sure at this point. I don't want anybody that tells you that. Share this with them. That wasn't the plan.
The House recesses again at 2:29. The Senate is evacuated at 2:30. Over the next several minutes, senators move out of the chamber to a nearby staircase. For security reasons, the Post is not showing the specific routes lawmakers travel from there, but they pass within yards of...
And I just want to make this point real quick. Look at this extremely complicated building. Like, can you imagine trying to find your way through this? All these offices that people don't go on. I mean, even if you've been there before, like they give tours and stuff, I guess, but I mean, the amount of twists and turns and all kinds of craziness. And a lot of these people knew like exactly where to go. It boggles my mind. Event Horizon Productions LLC, thanks for subscribing.
Rioters,
and
separated
Antonio,
only
thank
by
you
a
for also
handful of outnumbered
subscribing. Really
police.
appreciate it.
As we're being escorted
Almost at
out
3K
of
subscribers
the
on
chamber
YouTube.
and walking toward the staircase.
Very happy about that.
I looked over and the Senate parliamentarian.
Oh, I do want to clear up one thing. There was some tours on the 5th, but I've seen some people saying that Lauren Boebert gave a tour on the 5th with this group of people, like that group, and they're giving like the OK hand sign. That was from like a month before that, in November. That was like a group from Denver or something. So that is a fake story that has been going around a little bit. That she, like the picture with her and the people with the OK sign, that was from like a month ago. Now, whether it had anything to do with, this, I don't know, but it wasn't on the 5th of January. It was like right after the election.
Elizabeth McDonough was standing next to me, and
yeah, they had a lot of inside info.
She was, including one or two of the boxes containing the electoral votes as they were cast.
Yeah, I like Event Horizons too. That's a good name.
At
Isn't that like a
2:33,
band?
a request for assistance is announced over the police radio.
On radio, please be advised, U.S. Capitol
Bring Horizons.
all military and sworn officers To come to the
Team 2, copy.
83.
And the last part was the first part of the transmission.
Military as well as all sworn protesters due to a breach to the Capitol. You copy?
Copy.
Rioters flood the hallways and look for an entrance to the barricaded House chamber, while members of Congress remain on the floor and in the gallery 1 floor above.
We were just told that there has been tear gas in the rotunda, and we're being instructed to each of us get gas masks that are under our seats.
Over the next few minutes, security attempts to block the chamber doors as lawmakers and staff evacuate.
This is like 10 minutes before Ashley
They were
Babbitt.
actually pounding on the house door. So we knew that they were there. They were pounding on the house door, and we were like in the process of evacuating.
They kind of yelled at us, from below, since we were in the gallery, that there's been a breach and we might have to hide under our seats.
Plainclothes law enforcement officers on the House floor draw their firearms and aim towards the doors as rioters break windows and push against the
No, I agree with that, Katie. I mean, I think a lot of us have been to D.C., probably got that same exact tour of the Capitol buildings or whatever, like you said, the 8th grade tour you got. But, they give you, it's a very, very complex building. And the amount of people I've seen that know, like, oh, if you go down here to the left, it's too many odd things going on in some of these videos. Especially like the one video with the lady who's screaming out commands up at she's all, covered up, screaming out like, oh, guys, go in this room. If you go down here to the left, there's a door back that way. It's like, if you guys are going to take this building, you have to do this. Like, okay, this is weird.
barricade. Lawmakers and congressional staff on the House floor are evacuating via the Speaker's lobby at 2:41, just as rioters reach the lobby and come within approximately 60 feet of the lawmakers. Members of Congress file down narrow, rarely used staircases to a secure location.
Yeah, that's this whole thing, when this whole thing happened with Ashley Babbitt.
As the last lawmakers from the House floor leave at 2:42 p.m., the number of rioters grows around the House chamber.
We don't want to hurt them inside. We just want to
Some representatives remain in the House gallery.
I called my wife. And as soon as I heard her voice, I realized, oh man, am I having that call? When the plane's going down or the building's on fire. Is this that call?
Officers move aside as a tactical unit is arriving, but the mob starts smashing the windows with flagpoles and helmets. On the other side of the building, rioters have entered the Senate chamber. In the House chamber, members crouch in the upstairs gallery. They are unable to leave, locked in by the...
Yeah, see, they had moved them off of the House floor, but they were still in the building at this point.
The Capitol Police to prevent rioters from entering.
There's a gun! Hey, he's got a gun!
She gets capped.
Ashley Babbitt, a Trump supporter and Air Force veteran, tries to climb through the shattered door window. An officer fires a single shot. The shot was audible inside the House chamber, where members are soon concerned their lapel...
With their hands above their heads.
Just want to skip past it. It's just her getting shot, and then it just shows
The members
it.
make their way to safety. The last...
YouTube likes to flag my video if you show anything. Even though this is a Washington Post article and it blurs it all out, they still like to flag my video for shit like that. Go back.
With Capitol Police around them.
The members make their way to safety, the last of the large groups of lawmakers to do so, descending down a staircase in this photograph at 2:53. Over the next several hours, police worked to secure the building, dispersing the crowd using stun grenades and other riot control tactics. The governors of Maryland and Virginia dispatched National Guard troops. At one point, Trump, in a video message, urged his followers to go home,
fucking video I've
telling
ever
them he
seen.
loves them and calling them very special. The Senate gavelled back into session at 8:06 to confirm Joe.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, and I've seen several people on the right defending Babbitt thing. Like I don't get it. Like I don't understand. You have a Secret Service member pointing a gun at you, and several people say, "Gun, gun, he's got a gun." And she jumps through that window. I'm just not sure what they thought the outcome was going to be. You know, I saw you know, one guy on TikTok, God, I can't think of his name. But he's like a Boston guy, and he's like, "Oh, I've been told all summer if a black guy's just got a gun, that's not a reason to shoot him." Like, listen, I mean, if a guy pulls out a gun at cops, he's probably going to get shot. Now, when Jacob Blake walked to his car and a cop shot him in the back 7 times, that's excessive. Now, if you pull out a gun on a cop, you're probably going to get shot. And especially if a cop's on the other side of a door and you run through that door and he's got a gun pointed at you and he is defending the people on the other side who are basically defenseless, all these old people that can't defend themselves. You know, I don't know what you thought the outcome was going to be. She is the poster child for what happens and when disinformation is spread and why conspiracy theories are dangerous. I mean, she's basically just like that lady's friend. She thought the exact same things. She thought the storm had arrived. And in my storm explanation video, I kind of explained what they thought was happening with the storm. And why is it so damn blurry? Okay, that looks better. But yeah, so I mean, I really, really, really don't understand that one. Yeah, I just don't. She's an Air Force vet. She's trained how to watch and fill out paperwork. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, she probably did think he was bluffing. I really think that they thought that nothing bad was gonna happen to them. Like I what the fuck, man? Is the YouTube feed freezing up for you guys, or is it like in low res? Like it looks kind of weird on my end. But yeah, no, I really think that they thought they didn't done nothing wrong, and that, you know, she didn't think that anything was gonna happen. And, you know, that's just the power of disinformation. Like she thought they were going in there, they were gonna round up all the elites, and then, you know, Trump was gonna declare that they, you know, try them, round them up, put them in Gitmo, and try them for their crimes against humanity. And that is what she thought was going down. And you can tell that by the social media posts that she was posting. She was in a throuple. Oh, it's like low res right now. Yeah, I don't know. Let me try refreshing it. It was just fine, and then yeah. Try refresh. If you're on YouTube, refresh it one time because it looks fine for me now. Like, I don't know if y'all are having an issue, but I had that issue on my end. It's fine on Twitch. Does it? Oh, maybe it's just me. It's back to 7. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, that's just the danger of misinformation, and that's why I'm gonna start. Like, I kind of got away from the debunk of conspiracies and talking about Q just when I kind of went more mainstream with the stuff. You know, just talking about the election and stuff like that. But I'm gonna get back into the more, you know, kind of exploring the right-wing propaganda and debunking Q stuff again, because yeah, it's honestly it's taken over, man, and I really don't like where it's heading. Storm Chick 78, thanks for the follow, really appreciate it. But okay, so this is the global this is the thing. Q believers say that since Biden is using a security company called Checkmate, this is the checkmate they've been looking for. Anyway, okay, let me size this. You guys on TikTok, links to my YouTube and Twitch are in the bio if you want to come over here and check it out. And if you guys that are on YouTube and Twitch right now, if you want to subscribe, support the stream, I'd really appreciate it. On YouTube, you can also subscribe, you know, just because. Join the Discord if you want to send me stuff. I also post like news and stuff in there. I'd really like to make my Discord more of a thing. You know, if you guys have any questions or stuff you'd like me to react to, you can put it in my Discord. All the description, all the links for everything are in my description below. Always is. Along with all my social medias, all that stuff. But anyway, so Lindsey Graham goes on the Sunday shows today, and I don't know why he thought this was gonna make people agree with him. Like, I don't know why he thought any of this stuff that he talks about was bad, but it checks all the boxes for me. And then we'll watch the AOC Tucker Carlson, just ridiculousness. But this is just a quick clip.
Senator, I want to ask you about policy priorities, because now Bernie Sanders is in your shoes. He's going to be in your shoes as the chairman of the Budget Committee.
Fuck yeah, he is. Try not to cuss. Dang it.
What do you see as the priorities?
Yell at me when I cuss, guys. I'm really trying to stop it.
How will America's money be spent?
Well, the first thing they're going to do is use reconciliation, where you just need 50 votes to increase your taxes. So what are their priorities?
Thank goodness. Finally. You mean some people in the Senate are going to actually do something? Wow.
They're going to roll back border security at the border, and you see the...
I don't know what... You mean he's not going to separate children from their families at the border? Is that what you mean? I don't know where this open borders talking point ever came from, but Bernie has said himself that he thinks open borders is a Koch brothers policy. It's such a false narrative. Nobody wants open borders. We just want people to actually be able to come into our country.
Caravans beginning to form now. They're going to raise your taxes. They're going to impose regulations on the economy. They're going to try to make DC a state. They're going to try to implement parts of the green.
I'm liking all this so far. No, Bernie wants to raise your taxes, Lindsay. Not everybody's. Your taxes. That's whose taxes he's going to raise. We do want to make DC a state, because for some reason, the Dakotas, which have about 16 people combined in the two states, have 4 senators. Meanwhile, the state of California, a gajillion people, has 2. 4 senators in the Dakotas.
New Deal and Medicare for All to
Cuss
budget
more.
reconciliation. I've got a fight on my hands. The one thing I want to tell President Trump, you're leaving office with some of the most significant accomplishments in my lifetime. You brought...
True. No one has stormed the Capitol like that since 1812. That is pretty significant. One thing is for sure, we will never forget President Trump. First to be impeached twice, you know, a whole list of just atrocities.
Order to chaos at the border. You rebuilt the military when it was on its back. You
Imagine thinking that the military that we put $700 billion a year into before Trump got into office, it's like 760 now. But we imagine saying that our military was depleted. The military that gets we spend 26 times as much as any other country. We spend more money than the next 10 countries combined, and like 9 of them are allies. Imagine thinking that military needed to be rebuilt. That is the dumbest thing out of all. When they say Trump's accomplishments, that might be the worst one.
You destroyed ISIS. You got 5 peace agreements between Arab countries and Israelis. You got the USMCA. You cut our taxes. Here's what I think Republicans need to do.
You cut their taxes.
Where we can, maybe.
By the way, the Trump tax cuts for you know, us poors, that goes away after this year. So no more tax cuts after this year for the poors. Now those corporate tax cuts, those are permanent.
On infrastructure, but fight like hell turning America into a socialized nation. Fight like hell to make sure we don't undercut border security. Reject the Green New Deal. Fight like hell against raising taxes. Here's what I predict. If they do what they're talking about doing, Republicans will come roaring back in 2022. We'll take back the House. We'll take back the Senate. And just in a few months, President Trump's will be looked at far differently than he is today.
Yeah, he'll be the first president maybe to be impeached. I don't know. I got a ball game if I think Trump will be impeached yet. I haven't really looked into it. I mean, not impeached, but convicted. But I hope Lindsey knows, and that's how you know that these people. I really think Lindsey believes some of the stuff, or a lot of the stuff that he spews, because he thinks that if Joe Biden raises taxes on the rich, and gives people health care, that Republicans are going to make some crazy comeback in 2022. Like, I got news for you. If Joe Biden gets $2,000 checks out, raises taxes on the rich, and then gets a public option passed, the Republicans will get destroyed in 2022. We will gain in the Senate. First of all, the map looks favorable in the Senate anyway for Democrats. We will gain in the Senate, and we will probably gain in the House if we actually get stuff passed. Now, if we don't get those things passed, then Republicans will probably gain in the House and the Senate. But if Joe Biden actually implements a lot of the policies that he's talking about, they will make significant gains. The show is great. Can't wait for season 2. I would like to go into space. I mean, yeah. I mean, you can join Space Force. How much did they let Trump use for the wall? I think it was like, something like $4 or $5 billion. But the way they did it is he didn't put up new wall. He rebuilt old wall. So when old wall, because there was the Secure Fencing Act that Bush put into place. When they did that, what Trump has done is when that old fence needed replacing, he replaced it with border wall, like fancy border wall. And that's one of the things that proves that you can find money. Like the way that Trump paid for that wall was very, very creative. And that's what progressives and Democrats need to do if they want to get more stuff done. They need to find creative ways instead of just saying, oh, well, we can't. The Republicans don't agree with us. Guess we can't do it. Like, no. Trump somehow, without anybody on his side, spent $5 billion on the wall. Like, he made that kind of appear, through different means and channels. I think he took it out of military money, like backup military money, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he declared the state of emergency. I'm not big on authority either. I mean, but, Space Force, I might be down. I mean, depending on what Space Force is doing. I mean, according to QAnon, Space Force is about to take... Oh, Mumble saying thanks for the tier 1 subscription. 6 months in advance. Beast. That's awesome. All right, you the man. I think that's what that says. I don't know. I can't read. Yeah, if Steve Carell's there, I'm definitely all in on that. Steve Carell's the... it's so funny that, like, that's a thing. Space Force is a real thing. Like, that's gonna be one of the things that Trump's remembered for. He created the Space Force. Like, literally, like, a joke TV show is what that should be. And that's the only thing that should be. Like, he couldn't even, like, come up with a cool name. Like, you know, some kind of, you know, SHIELD type deal. Just Space Force. So, basically, Trump's legacy will be 3 conservative judges, mainstreaming of misinformation, Space Force, and just overall fuckery, I would say. But, yeah, I don't know what, I think, honestly, I think the mainstreaming of misinformation will probably be the thing he'll be remembered for most. You know, because before, it was always, you know, there was always like a little bit of decorum and civility to our politics. Like, Trump created like a whole new ideology with the Trumpism. Like, it's not just his thing now. You know, you have people like Nikki Haley and Ted Cruz and all these Republicans on Twitter trying to own people. And I mean, it even happens on the left now, you know, like AOC is gotten some of her popularity because she's good at clapping back on Twitter. Like, she knows how to use social media well. She's not a crazy person on top of it, but like, you have this whole, you know, before it was like we expected like this civility out of our politicians. Now it's just, you know, go crazy. Clap back at people on Twitter, because that's what we want our politicians doing. Not like, I don't know, like passing bills and stuff. So I think that's what he will be remembered for the most. I don't know, I've seen the Space Force logo, but can you add Tucker's take on Hassan Piker? Tucker had a take on Hassan Piker? I might have to check that out. Yeah. Well, this is segue into that. This is, so Tucker Carlson, the man of the people, Mr. Populist that he is, wasn't very happy that AOC, was in fear of her life the other day. According to him, that's just, you know, not okay.
Nerds. NerdWallet can help make your...
Apparently we have to watch an ad first. No shilling on this channel, unless you're me. By the way, if you guys could like the stream while you're here, all my links are in the description, yada yada yada, blah blah blah.
All along, a small number of genuinely radical haters and nihilists have stepped into the void where our national conversation used to be and taken total control of the floor. They say things that virtually no one in this country actually agrees with, but since no one else is allowed...
Medicare for all, extremely popular. Green New Deal, extremely popular. UBI, extremely popular. Literally everything they say they agree with. The only thing that isn't popular that I think AOC agrees with and has actually come out and supported is like defund the police, possibly abolish ICE. And I really think those things are only not popular because the right wing is better at spin than the left wing is. Like they're really good at spin, but even they can't spin, giving everybody health care. Like, she's so radical. She wants to give people health care. Like, I don't know if some of you guys know, I went to the dentist the other day, and I have insurance, and I have to get a root canal, and I haven't actually gotten the price on the root canal itself, but just went to go back to the dentist and get like a crown and cap or something. whatever the second part of it is, it's like $1,300. And that's after my insurance takes off like $300. Like, that is ridiculous. Anyway, we'll continue. But her policies are popular, Tucker.
To talk, they have a monopoly on what we do next. Here's the dumbest and most narcissistic of all of them, the Kim Kardashian of the Congress.
Oh, God.
Yammering on about how actually, because of the death in Minneapolis, we need to get rid of the police.
So if you're an elected official that for any reason is on this call, I'm asking you to ask yourself, what are you willing to sacrifice to make sure that overfunded police departments are defunded?
Defund the police and saying that police stations are overfunded does not mean get rid of the police, Tucker. God, I hate this talking point so much. They want better funded social programs and other ways, and maybe seeing as, we have had issues with our police force, maybe we should figure out ways to rework it. And maybe some of that ridiculous budget, because I don't know, like, if you see, like, state budgets, county budgets, the police force is way up here, and like school and all these other, other programs are way down here. And the idea is just take some of that money and let's try putting it in here. Not let's just get rid of the police altogether. Like, that has never ever been anyone who is in Congress's, especially AOC's, position.
So suddenly, and let us know if this sounds familiar.
And also, even if that was the case, it doesn't mean like, well, I guess you should die then, because people came after you. You wanted to defund the police.
A convicted felon dying of a drug overdose was a national crisis. As in any national crisis, you've got to make some sacrifices. And guess what? Every one of your sacrifices is going to make vacuous little totalitarian morons like Sandy Cortez more powerful. That's how national crises work. Something bad has happened, therefore you've got to hand the worst people in the world the keys to your life. See how that works? As if you needed more evidence that it's all about what's good for Sandy Cortez and her friends, and not about what's good for you, because nobody cares about that. Watch her new position, her revised position on defunding the police. This is from the other day.
Many of us nearly and narrowly escaped death. There were members of Capitol Police who were quite heroic. We have many officers, and there were also Black and brown officers that were confronting white supremacists and putting themselves not just to protect members, but they put themselves in harm's way.
Narrowly escaped death. One of the most harrowing.
Now this guy, man. Now imagine thinking, well, okay, somebody wants to, defund the police. We want to put more money into programs. Has a near-death experience, because had they found AOC, they would have killed her. There's no question in my mind she would have died had those people found her. So she, she's opening up about her experience and saying how the police were heroic and they did a good thing. And this guy takes it and spins it as, oh, these hypocrites. Oh, now, now they all of a sudden, switch their policy position. It's like, no, she's recounting something that you helped fuel, Tucker, with all your horse shit. Remember when Tucker had evidence on Hunter Biden, but it got lost in the mail? Like, this guy has done nothing but lie to people for years and years and years. He lied when Antifa, showed up outside his house to protest. He claimed they broke his door, which was absolutely a lie. You can check the police report. Nobody touched his door. Claimed they threatened his life. When the McCluskeys, when they had their incident, he claimed that they were heroes and patriots because they pointed guns at people. Yet AOC recounts her, what happened to her at the Capitol, and he's just ready just to jump down her throat as, oh, how dare this hypocrite. Like, these people, they have no shame. There's no bottom. There's no bottom for a guy like this.
Thing you've done in life is pass freshman sociology at Boston University. Every day is a brand new drama. Sandy's heart is still beating.
She literally became the youngest person ever elected to Congress. Still is the youngest person who's not a fascist elected to Congress, and beat the number 3 ranking Democrat to do it. Also, she graduated cum laude, I think. Economics. She's got some degrees. She's done some stuff.
Beating fast. But she likes the cops now, despite the fact they're white supremacists. What a difference a day makes. And
I see what's possible instead of what's here.
Like, I don't know if that's the worst take and spin bullshit I've ever seen, but it's pretty close. Like, oh, I don't know about y'all, but that guy just does it for me. Like, he just pushes me to the limit, man. I swear. He is one of the worst. Yeah, I think more young people should be in Congress, too. I don't know. Do I really think she would have died? Yeah, I think. I mean, do you see what these people talk about? And on a daily basis, what AOC and Ilhan Omar should be strung up for treason. Like, if the wrong group, not all of them, I don't think everybody that stormed the Capitol would have murdered AOC, but had a certain group of that mob found her, down, when they were rushing her out, do I think they would have charged her? Yeah, I find it extremely likely that that's their boogeyman. They think she is gonna usher in a socialist revolution or something. I mean, maybe she wouldn't have died, but I would say 80-20, like 80% she doesn't make it out in that case. Get rid of the geriatric old party. I hear you. Like, Joe Biden is I don't know. Joe Biden's what, 77? Nancy Pelosi's 81. Steny Hoyer's plus 70. He might even be 80. Dick Durbin, the whip in the Senate, he's in his 70s, I think. Chuck Schumer's in his 70s. Like, literally everybody in the leadership is 70 plus. Like, they get the free buffet in the morning. And that's everybody in the Senate. She absolutely would have died. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, they murdered a cop, and they love cops. Exactly. Yeah, the group that murdered the cop, and they claim to love them, they hate AOC. I mean, they trampled over their own people. And the craziest thing about them trampling over their own people is the friend that was with her that tried to pull her out of the crowd trampling over her. After it happened, he blamed Antifa. Like, he's like, oh no, that was Antifa. It's like, what? Yeah, she went to Boston College. AOC, Pelosi, Schiff would have been killed by the rage mob. Yeah, I think you can add Ilhan Omar, the entire squad. I would say the squad, Schiff, Schumer, Pelosi, they're done. Especially Nancy. I think Nancy's got the biggest target just because she's the speaker. I mean, but the squad's right up there. I mean, that's their boogeyman. I don't know about now, but it's probably worse now. But like last year, some point, Kim Jong-un and Vladimir Putin both had a higher rating among Republicans than AOC and Nancy Pelosi. Like, they were more pleased with those people than they were with actual murderous dictators. Or other way around. You know what I mean? But this, by the way, this series, I'm not going to read it all because it's pretty long, but I would say if you wanted to know more about Trump's thoughts on like a Basically, it's a breakdown of the last 3 months or last 2 months, like what Trump was thinking on election night, like the process they went through and how they like kind of pushed this whole fake news agenda. Like Axios has done a really good series. They're on episode 3 right now. It's from Jonathan Swan. He's pretty good, but it really breaks down like how Trump, like what Trump was thinking on election night, how the Arizona call really screwed him over. Like basically he was going to say that he won the election. I mean, he did anyway, but he had like a whole speech prepared saying that he won. They had like a party prepared. Then Fox called Arizona and screwed that whole thing up. And then he like made a last minute speech, or Stephen Miller wrote a last minute speech and he ad-libbed in the part. It's a really good breakdown of like everything that happened. But yeah. Yeah. It's nuts how conservatives call Antifa weak, trans, LGBTQ simps, yet somehow... Yeah, no, that's exactly... No, the left is everything all at once. We are all weak, soy boy, latte sipping, pansies who live in our mom's basement. We're also the global, powerful elite, the rich people. We're that. And we're also Antifa super soldiers. Like, we're whatever we are, whatever the right wants us to be, whenever the talking point fits. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how the right, that's just how they roll. So I don't know. Jake Tapper's like, I don't know. Out of the CNN people, Jake Tapper's probably my favorite, and he did a pretty good piece today about kind of Trump and the right's culpability in this whole thing. So yeah, I thought maybe check that out. Green-haired, yeah, bro, I forgot the green-haired. Green or blue-haired. You can go either way with that. Hello, Amy. But yeah. So yeah, anyway, if you like that segment, I gotta start breaking this stuff down into segments more, so when I edit it. But yeah, if you guys like any of my stuff, if you like my streams, follow me on YouTube. Follow me on Twitch. If you like my YouTube stuff, you can support me by subscribing on Twitch. Really appreciate it. All the links are in the description. Join my Discord. You can follow me on all my socials. That's all down in the description, as well as my Patreon, all that stuff. So yeah, anyway, let's check this out.
Spread this virus to avoid any accountability, to rewrite history. Here's House Republican virus. And now it's even worse. Washington, D.C. looks like a war zone right now because...
Yeah, by the way, by the time Trump leaves office, we'll probably have as many deaths from coronavirus as we did in World War II. It'll be like right in the ballpark.
Of a different virus. This virus is the big lie. The big lie that the election was stolen. Spread by President Trump and his allies. And there's already an attempt by those who willingly spread this virus to avoid any accountability, to rewrite history. Here's House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy this week.
What we saw last week was not the American way. Neither is the continued rhetoric that Joe Biden is not the legitimate president. Let's be clear. Joe Biden will be sworn in as President of the United States in 1 week because he won the election.
Unbelievable. Zero acknowledgement that McCarthy himself, for 2 months, pushed that very same big lie rhetoric.
President Trump won this election, so everyone who's listening, do not be quiet. Do not be silent about this. We cannot allow this to happen before our very eyes.
McCarthy, House Minority Whip Steve Scalise,
and see, this is a thing that I think on the left, like, we just move on kind of from things. Like, I think we're just kind of used to it, like, oh, here's another thing Trump did. And it's like on this whole last 2 months, like, we need to make this stick. And we really have to punish these people for the absolute chaos that they have helped brew and just boil up and then turn into this. Like, personally, I think, I don't think it's going to happen, but I think Joe Biden needs to do some kind of, I don't know, commission on misinformation or something. I think more money needs to be put into combating misinformation and how to better work, how to pull people out of the rabbit hole. I don't think anything like that'll happen, or if it would even help, but I don't know. I feel like throwing a couple $1 billion at the problem couldn't hurt, you know? That's my thoughts on it.
124 other House Republicans went so far as to sign on to that joke of a lawsuit from the Texas Attorney General, which lent further credibility to the big lie. And where do people like that go to share the big lie? MAGA media.
Get it right. They stole it. We need to take it back for the people.
MAGA media, where hosts not only didn't push back on the big lie, they also participated in it.
I can factually tell you tonight, it will be impossible to ever know the true, fair, accurate election results.
We don't know exactly what the Supreme Court will do, but there is precedent for courts overturning the results of elections.
It was a joint...
True, it is a neighborhood and family thing, but I think one of the problems why a lot of people get stuck and stay in misinformation is the people that try to pull them out aren't armed with enough of the information. Like, if if you don't, like, if you're not well versed in how to push back on their talking points, or if you don't exactly know, like, actually know what, how to counter it, or what the truth is, or if you kind of misinform them on a few things, even if you're mostly right, I think that's one of the ways people stay stuck in their hole. It's like, well, you don't actually know what you're talking about, so how do you know I'm wrong? I think that's one of the things that people need to be more equipped with the correct information so they can fight misinformation. Like I said, I don't know if it would help, but I feel like that's what some of my content does. Like, I don't feel like I change too many people's minds, but I feel like if somebody who has a friend sees my stuff and they're like, oh, okay, now I can tell Daryl, that is an actual lie, and I have sources to go with it. That's why I usually always put, like, sources and stuff in my videos.
Joint effort by the Trump team and MAGA media, and millions heard lies about election fraud day after day.
This happened in the places where it needed to happen, which is why the 4 metros, the only 4 where Joe Biden outperformed Hillary Clinton, were Philadelphia, Milwaukee, Atlanta, and Detroit.
Definitely not.
I mean, what McEnany said there is just a lie. Biden's margin of victory outperformed Hillary Clinton's in at least 31 urban counties, and it just so happens Philly was not one of them. But still, month after month, millions infected with the virus of the big lie. And now, according to a Pew Research poll, 80% of Trump voters over 50 incorrectly believe that Trump definitely or probably won the election. 67% of Trump voters with college degrees believe the big lie. 82% of Trump voters without any college education believe the big lie.
Yeah, see, it's not just the poorly educated.
Was chanting, "Hang Mike Pence," because he would not overturn the election. This is Mike Pence in Georgia.
I know we all got our doubts about the last election. And I want to assure you, I share the concerns of millions of Americans about voting irregularities. And I promise you, come this Wednesday, we'll have our day in Congress. We'll hear the objections. We'll hear the evidence.
The big lie that on January 6th, the election could be overturned. And then came that day. The MAGA movement.
Okay, so why are the CNNs only making it a thing now? Honestly, it has a lot to do with ratings. CNN's not completely out of, they're not, they share in the blame too, because not wanting to take these people seriously and not understanding that this is a real issue is on them because they're supposed to be journalists. They're supposed to be reporters. Like, they should have understood. Like, there's a few guys, that Donnie O'Sullivan, he's done some good stuff for CNN, but there should have been more attention paid on this, and there should have been more reporting on it. And now, only now that it's, you know, it's the talk of the town now. 6 months ago, there was only, you know, like, I barely saw anybody talking about QAnon stuff. I literally started making stuff about QAnon on TikTok because I didn't see a single person pushing back on it. You know, so I researched it and found out about it. But that is one of the issues, is that, and I don't know if they will continue, because this isn't going away, but the ratings might die down. And that's what sucks about mainstream media. They only care about what's going to get them ratings. Doesn't mean what he's saying here isn't true, though.
Movement and MAGA media were all in.
I have friends who've texted me who are not very political saying, I'm coming to Washington, D.C. today because I can't handle what's happening in my country. I think it's not an understatement to say we're in a constitutional tinderbox right now.
Let's have trial by combat.
If you're going to be the zero and not the hero, we're coming for you, and we're going to have a good time doing it.
If Mike Pence does the right thing, we win the election.
And that is how the terrorist attack of January 6 happened. Millions of Americans infected with the virus of disinformation. It was a joint effort by far-right hate groups that the president's been playing footsie with for years, and radicalized, infected Trump supporters and MAGA media. Multiple dead bodies later, no contrition, no apologies, no acknowledgement of what they did. Until those who spread the big lie work to correct it, putting out a vaccine of facts and truth, I fear that the U.S. will continue to be in this bad and dangerous place even after the inauguration. And I wish, in my soul, I wish that I saw any evidence that any of these people had a conscience for this to even nag at.
True. All right, couple questions here. I love your TikTok content. Thank you so. Oh, thanks, Amy. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm glad it can help. I mean, honestly, you know, you know, obviously, I want, you know, I put this stuff out so I can inform people about different shit in the QAnon lore and what these people actually believe. And like, what I honestly, like, you know, I make fun of them too. Like, I joke around and stuff, but I'm going to try to start doing that less because I don't think it helps at all. But, well, honestly, I'm not going to lie. I'm still going to make fun of him a little bit because it is funny. But, like, if you're actually trying to, like, pull somebody out of a rabbit hole, it probably doesn't help. Some people it does. I don't know. Everybody's different. I guess you just got to gauge whoever the person is you're trying to pull out of the, you know, from being pilled. Did I see the CNN special on HBO? Are you talking about, I think I saw the one about, came out like a month or two ago. I think I know what you're talking about. Well, yeah, I don't know what I was going to say, but yeah, CNN is not, yeah, like, I have a big issue with mainstream media, with CNN, with MSNBC, and I've made a few videos on TikTok before. Like, the mainstream media is not your friend, and they're really not. They kind of get wrapped up in these narratives that just really aren't true, at least as far as I think, and they don't outright lie. Like, the stuff that the right says about them, especially the conspiratorial right, is not true. But the mainstream media does have an agenda at the same time. But, you know, like they're like this, like tonight they're airing this huge puff piece about Kamala Harris. Like, that's not your job. You're not supposed to air these weird, like, you're not supposed to treat her like she's some celebrity. You're supposed to fact check her call her out and make sure she does her job, not, you know, air some 2-hour puff piece about, you know, how she's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Like, that's not your job. That's not your role in this. At least it's not supposed to be. And, you know, and they drop the ball on a lot of things, like they have 24 hours in a day, and somehow they only talk about like 3 stories all day. I swear there's like 3 stories that gets played over and over again on CNN. Like, usually when I'm doing research or something, looking into stuff, like, I get most of my information from a group of journalists on Twitter, and like I'll have CNN playing in the background just to see what they're talking about. But for the most part, like, mainstream media, CNN, MSNBC, it's just not that good. Yeah, it's a business at the end of the day. It really is. And, you know, now a lot of people, I mean, they can do good reporting. Like that Washington Post piece we just watched, that was good. That New Yorker piece was good. That guy got some good, you know, stuff. There's good stuff in the mainstream media, but there's a lot of bad too. And they can hold people so much more accountable than they do. And just the way that mainstream media is set up, it's just not set up to inform people. They have these really short segments with these quick bites. They ask these people dumb questions that doesn't really help anybody. You know, like you'll see like an 8-minute segment, and it'll be like 3 people. It'll be like a lefty, a never Trumper, and, you know, some other person, some expert on something, some former general, and they'll talk about some issue, and they'll bark back and forth at each other about civility and this and that. And then the segment's over. You didn't learn anything, but it was kind of entertaining because they all yelled at each other. Like, nobody learns anything from that. Like, I've learned way more about politics listening to, like, the Majority Report with Sam Cedar, or, like, a long segment of Vosh's or Hassan's, or, you know, like, where you can I've learned more listening to, like, the Joe Rogan podcast when he has a good guest on. Not from Joe. I mean, I learned some stuff about MMA from Joe, but when you can actually have a long dialogue, that's when you learn stuff, not in this short, quick bite bullshit. What do you think about bringing the fairness doctrine back? Maybe a little reform, accountability. I'm drawing a blank. What is that? Hold on. The fairness doctrine. The fairness doctrine the U.S. introduced was a policy that required holders of a broadcast license to both present controversial issues of public importance and to do so in the manner that was honest, equitable, and balanced. The FCC eliminated the policy in 1987 to remove the rule to implement the I think I've heard talk. I think I have had this debate with, or talked about this with someone before. I just kind of forgot about it. Fairness doctrine had 2 basic elements. It required broadcasters to devote some of their airtime to discussing controversial matters of public interest, and to air contrasting views regarding those matters. Stations were given wide latitude as to how to provide. Honestly, it doesn't sound like a bad idea. I don't know how you would implement it anymore. There's just too much media. Like, I mean, you know, like, I don't necessarily, like, I might talk about stuff on the right, but I don't, like, I'm not, obviously, I'm not, cheerleading for it. Like, how would you impose that? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you could do that anymore. Reagan got rid of it, yeah. It sounded familiar. I have my doubts about Crystal Ball. Me too, man. I used to love Crystal. Like, Crystal was my fave for a while, but lately she's been kind of disappointing, you know. Like, I still watch Rising, and I think I actually recommend Rising to people just because, honestly, like, it's not high praise, but I think Sagar might be the most level-headed right-winger on TV. Like, I don't know, like, who's a good commentator on the right? There just isn't really any. I mean, I can't think of any. I mean, Hunter Avalon, he's kind of on the right, but he's kind of gone to the left now. Like, as like a full-blown right winger, like he might be the best. And I think like he gives like the best example of what like the right, like sane people on the right maybe are thinking about, you know, or what they want to do. It comes off kind of fashy sometimes, and he gets these really bullshit takes a lot. But, you know, he's one of the only people that actually calls out shit sometimes. He's super smug. But, I mean, at least he's not, I mean, like I said, the bar is super low. I mean, we're putting him up against guys like Tucker Carlson. You know what I mean? And that Marshall Kozlov, the guy they have on there sometimes, he's pretty good. I mean, as far as right-wingers go, I don't agree with him on literally anything. But yeah, Crystal has a kind of a grift going on. She made a bunch of money off of this, I don't know, she did this charity thing for this PAC and basically swung with all the money. I don't know. I know she's doing a new show with Kyle Kalinske. I might check that out a little bit. But, oh, he doesn't have me fooled. It just, like I said, low bar. We're talking we're talking, you know, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king, that kind of deal. You know what I mean? Sagar did work for Tucker, but I think, I'll say this. Sagar would be a lot worse if he was off on his own. Like, when he's on Tucker's show, like, I've seen clips of it, like, he's pretty rough. But, you know, when he gets too fashy, like, Crystal pushes back on him a little bit. But she doesn't push back like she used to. Like, when Bernie was still, like, I really liked their coverage when Bernie was still in the primary, and, like, when I was working for the campaign, and I would watch that show, like, every morning, and they had good coverage, and Crystal had great radars, you know, breaking down how the mainstream media was biased towards Bernie, and it was good stuff. But then, like, as they got more popular, and once Bernie was out, like, they never ever pushed back on Trump, and they only ever, you know, talked about Biden. And Sagar had this really odd take on the post office thing, calling it Russiagate 2.0. Like, I don't know. They really kind of bummed me out. Yeah, there should be, if you're a cable news channel, I agree, there should be something that holds you accountable. I mean, we have to do something about misinformation, because I don't know, it's pretty bad. You guys know Amazing Lucas? I've heard that name before. Isn't he on the right? Not like, isn't he like a right winger? But more libertarian. If you're ever thinking about being a libertarian, you should listen to Sam Cedar debate libertarians. It's one of my favorite things. He usually does a pretty good job. All right. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of all the segments I had. Anybody? If you guys are on TikTok, my links to my YouTube and Twitch are in the bio. If you guys like my streams, you can follow me on Twitch. I'd really appreciate that. You can also subscribe on Twitch if you want to support me. And join my Discord, because you can send me stuff, and I'm also trying to make that more of a thing. Links to all that are in the description. So yeah, let's explore some Telegram. How about that? Let's see what's going on. So yeah, thanks for hanging out, Toby. I appreciate it. But so I joined Telegram. Telegram is the site where all the Q people are now. And I think my name's Jeff Kirkman. And my bio is proud patriot, family man of 2, and pro 2A or something like that. Something real QE, you know what I mean? But this is, so I joined all the QAnon forums, and you can see they're growing in size. This one's got 22k subs, 11 subs. Of course, I got the Pepe frog. That looks scary. But let's see what they're talking about. Oh, thanks, Keith. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the content I like to do. I mean, let's see what this guy says. Democrat Maryland Jamie Raskin, State of the Union assassination party. That an assassinated party was hunting for House Speaker Nancy Pelosi during the riot. Blah blah blah. So Boogaloo are leftists? Oh, maybe I didn't think this through. There's some storm memes. Dude, their memes are something else. Like, what is this? Oh. I don't know what to the storm is upon us. Hi there. Now is going to be good viewing. Hope there's videos of the US military in the world. Drones could be used easily to go their marker. They're going to see their marker. Satan. What? Oh, JFK. Storm is upon us. I probably should have picked out some of the good stuff. But the left has been obsessed with QAnon since it became a relatively popular conspiracy on the right. Activist media outlets like CNN, the New York Times, Washington Post, and yes, The Atlantic have published numerous reports on the group, casting it as a threat to American society. More videos providing it was made up. What's this? Oh, damn, tweet got taken down. Yeah, that's the main theory. They think it was Antifa. And they think that the main reason that it happened, the insurrection, was all a setup so that they could get the fence. They're saying the fence has been built backwards around the White House, and that once all the elites get there, that they're gonna round them all up. The storm has arrived. What? So one group was. Let's see what this says. Got to say. Just in the U.S. Capitol Police test audible emergency notification. See what the comments say. It's like the Purge election days. You guys gonna watch the Castle Rock movie that's coming? What? Is it possible for people outside the U.S. to be part of the emergency notification speeches? Well, they don't seem to be pilled. Get the oh. No, he's gonna be you're talking about the inauguration. He's gonna be there. What's this? Oh, that's some other merch. Q drops. U.S. Air Force C-130 and C-17A Globemaster military transportation. Oh, there's more Cabal stuff. God, look. That is gross, man. Jesus. Oh yeah, they think Osama bin Laden is this guy. Tim Osama. Maria Abramovich. Like, this is all Fall of the Cabal stuff. Basically. Anyway. Alright, yeah. So you guys get the idea. I think we've looked at enough of that. Alright, yeah. So, fuck it. Let's, any questions? Floor is open. Something you'd want to know about? Something you want to chat about? It was kind of all the segments I had prepared, so we can just wing it the rest of the time. I'm pretty sure the Bucks just beat the Saints, so that's cool. And there should be at least, yeah. What do you think about Trump pardoning people? Is there any way to unpardon people? Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard that he can't pardon the people that, or that might just be the insurrection people. But I don't think you can unpardon people, no. But I mean, like, he can only pardon them for federal crimes, not state crimes. Goose Force, thanks for the follow. Really appreciate that very much. If you guys want to support me, follow me on Twitch, just like Goose Force. The late night hosts are handling this. How do I feel? The only one I really like is what's his face? Seth Meyers. I think he does a good job at giving the news. Stephen Colbert's okay, but I feel like he's too much on like Trump. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't actually, like, it's always about Trump, obviously. Like most of Seth Meyers' stuff is too, but like, he does a better job of like explaining what's going on and giving reasons why, you know, things are not the way they should be, and why, you know, this specific situation Trump is wrong about or lying, whatever. Where is the description to get the to get to Discord? It's in the description of the YouTube video. Like, if you just go down on my YouTube, if you just go where it says show more, just hit show more, and then you'll see my Twitch link, and then you'll see my 4 social media links, and at the bottom it says join Discord. I feel like Stephen Colbert could do a better show. Like, Stephen Colbert is a very politically smart guy, and he does the best political interviews. Like, Seth Meyers is more of a comedian, but Stephen Colbert has totally sold out to the ratings for Trump. Like, he bashes Trump, and that's his thing, and that's fine, but it's just not, like, you're not going to get a lot of out of it politically. Like, if you're already into politics a lot and you're kind of a political nerd, which I am, and I'm assuming if you're watching me, you also are for the most part. Like, I don't think Stephen Colbert really, like, it's not very, like, in-depth kind of analysis, which really nothing on late night TV is, but I feel like Seth Meyers is a little bit better at it than Stephen Colbert. But Stephen Colbert really could do a better show. Like, the Colbert Report was a great show, and the way he mocked the right wing was fantastic. But that just didn't translate on national TV, and his show was dying until Trump got in office and he started bashing them. Trevor Noah, Trevor's okay. I just, like, I don't know, man. I just think like the Daily Show got me into politics. Jon Stewart is the reason I'm into politics. And it's almost like, I think it's why I gravitate towards the absurdity of politics, even though it's gotten way more absurd, because that's always what Jon Stewart was good at shining a light on, was the absurdity in politics. and really calling those people out. Like Jon Stewart was a very, very important voice in politics when he was in it. And so I always think, I just don't feel like Trevor Noah is great. He's just not, he's not Jon Stewart. But I really like those Jordan Klepper segments, and Trevor's good. Like he brings a different vibe, and I like that. New to green video is good. Green video is good. What? I'm not sure what that means. Imagine how the Colbert Report would have gone if he had struck the style. Yeah, no, I think he's never going to change now, because I think he's one of the highest, and he might be the highest rated show. But yeah, no, we could use a show like Jordan Klepper kind of tried to do like a satire kind of right-wing show. Like he tried to do like an Alex Jones type comedy show, but I don't know, it didn't really catch on. I feel like he's more in tune with it now. Like his videos are better now, but he had a show for a while, but it just didn't stick. Yeah, Jon Stewart was great, man. I heard he's got a new show on Apple TV. I gotta check that out. A lot of people didn't get into Trump. A lot of people didn't get into politics till Trump, because it was kind of just, okay, here's another guy. Now we got this guy. Now we got this other guy. And like when Trump got into office, it's like, man, maybe this stuff does matter. You know, I feel like a lot of people got into politics once, and once Trump became president, it almost made people realize, like, I think this stuff really matters, and maybe I should be paying attention. And maybe I need to do more, because maybe our country isn't going in a good direction. So I feel like a lot more people are politically engaged. Whether that's a good thing or not, I don't know, because a lot of people got radicalized by Trump. Ashley Babbitt, for example, she voted for Obama twice. Ashley Babbitt, at least once, I'm not sure if it was twice, but Ashley Babbitt voted for Obama at least once, and now she thought that Joe Biden was going to do such a bad job that she was willing to storm the Capitol and die. Like, that's how radicalized she got under the Trump administration. Damn, really, Jordan Klepper would be great on a field show, constantly getting in the faces of rally folks, but I fear for his safety. Well, he did he had a desk. He was behind a desk, and it was kind of like a skit show. Like he did like in the field stuff. It was called something like, it was like an InfoWars spinoff, like Media Fight or some shit like that. It was only on for like a season. But yeah, no, I really like his segments. All Gas No Brakes is good. Actually, the first stream I ever did a couple months ago, I watched. I reacted to a All Gas No Brakes Antifa rally, or not Antifa, Proud Boys rally. Only started looking into politics this year. This year especially was. There was so. Man. 2020 was just full of big political moments. Just think of all. The storming of the Capitol was in 2021, but just within this the opposition, that was it. Yep. This last year, just think of all the crazy things that happened in politics. And I think it got a lot of people like, maybe I need to be more politically engaged. And I think TikTok got a lot of people into politics. Like the progression on political TikTok in the year. Like I've been posting on the app for like 6-7 months now, but I've been, scrolling on TikTok for about a year. And when I first got on TikTok, it was basically like Nick videos pointing at text like Trump 2020, best president ever. Like it was real simple stuff. Now you have people that are like full-on theory nerds, like actually what Marx meant in the you know what I mean? Like you have everything you could ever want on political TikTok, and you can get schooled in theory, from some 17-year-old, or you can get a completely different take. You know what I'm saying? It's everything. You got libertarians, you got ideologies I never even knew existed. You got everything. Got me into justice. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people, especially with the BLM protests this year, a lot of people are like, man, maybe I should learn more about the criminal justice system. Because I've been saying this for a year. Nobody gives a shit about criminals, so nobody ever bothers to learn. Like, you don't realize how screwed up, I stopped myself from cussing there. You don't realize how screwed up the justice system is until you get involved in it. Then you realize, you're like, damn, this prosecutor has a 99% conviction rate. Well, yeah, that's because they throw these people in jail for 2 weeks, make them sit there, and then they're like, hey, listen, we're going to give you this deal. Even though you didn't do it, say you did it, and we're going to let you out of this place. Otherwise, you can go back and sleep on a piece of foam next to 50 other guys that you also have to shower with, and you get these 2 meals a day, but one's a sack lunch. You know, like, there's so much wrong with the criminal justice system, and we need real serious reform. And that's something a lot of people didn't really think about at all, and I still don't think about, but I think the BLM movement just really got people looking into the criminal justice system more. Not relevant, but do you think for... Not relevant, but thank you for the QAnon debunked videos. Too many of my friends 100% sold on the original vids. Yeah, no. Chris, I hear you. A lot of my friends are full-blown into the QAnon stuff. That's honestly why, like, I knew about the QAnon thing used to just be called the Storm. When QAnon first came around, it was the Storm, and the idea was that Robert Mueller was actually working with Trump, and the whole point of the Mueller investigation was to get dirt on the Clintons and the Obamas, and then once the Mueller report came out, the storm was going to happen, and everybody was going to get rounded up. Like, I remember back when it was that. Obviously, that didn't happen. But a lot of my friends are into it, and, you know, once I saw, you know, like, people I knew, because, you know, at first I'm just like, oh, wow, you gotta be really stupid to believe this. And then, like, people I've known for years and consider smart people are like, QAnon is real, trust the plan. Like, I gotta look into this more. And then kind of birthed my whole content creation thing. But yeah, man, I hope they can help. Shit, you know what I mean? Because I would love to get back to where we could just have discourse. I'd rather just have you know, we can debate gun laws, yay or nay, or we can debate this or that, not, you know, deep state cabals and adrenochrome. Like, we get nowhere if we're talking about that, you know what I mean? I need to make, I don't know. I need to make another long form series. Like, I want to start streaming more. Like, I want to, you know, kind of gather the news of the day and then talk about it on stream at night. And I'd like to start doing that 4 or 5 times a week. But I really want to do some more long form series, you know, talking about conspiracy like stuff, debunking shit like that. Like, I need to get into doing that more, or do another long series like I did with the Fall of the Cabal. Yeah, that's what Sam, that's what my my sister said. She's like, isn't TikTok just dances? I'm like, well, no, that's straight TikTok. Like, you got to get on alt politic TikTok, and then it's pretty poggers, or based, or whatever you want to say. Like, once you get to a certain Banana Fish, thank you for the follow. Banana_fish. Yeah, Alaska, that's a good point. We need to release all the weed criminal prisoners. You want to know something crazy? John John Boehner, who used to be the Republican Speaker of the House and probably presided over a lot of the weed laws that we currently have. Do you know what he did after he got out of Keep It On, Keep It On? Thank you so much for the $5. I really appreciate that. That is freaking awesome, man. Thanks for supporting the stream. Awesome, my guy. But John Boehner, the Republican Speaker of the House, do you know what he did after he got out of office? Republican Speaker of the House. Guess what he did? He started a hedge fund that primarily deals with weed stocks. Dick pics. I'm sure those were in there. But no, he runs a bunch of he basically runs a hedge fund for weed stocks now. He's basically a weed dealer. Pretty much, and it's what he is. Like, he made $500 million off of weed stocks. Like, he invests in weed stocks now. Like, that's what he does. He's in the weed business. A Republican who spent his whole life probably being like, marijuana is bad. Tucker Carlson came after AOC. Yeah, I went over it a little bit earlier. Basically, he went after AOC for her saying she was scared about almost dying. He's like, huh, the nerve. Tucker and Hassan shared the Q debunk vids on Reddit. Oh shit, where'd the camera go? Some of the people did not like them. Yeah, you know, shit's not for everybody, I guess. No, thanks for the follow, Duchess Hub. I'll just go with that. Yeah, no, I mean, you know, your content can't please everybody. Like, I'm gonna start a series on my YouTube or on my TikTok, reading some of the comments I got on my one Fall of the Cabal video that got the most views. Like, it was something else. Like, some of the comments I get, man, they're just like, listen to this stupid Bernie libcuck try to debunk QAnon. Oh yeah? Well, if it was so debunkable, why did they take it off the YouTube, huh? Debunk that. It's like, okay. So let me get this straight. I go through piece by piece every single thing, provide over 100 sources, and your comeback is, oh yeah, well, YouTube took it down. It's like, what? What? Like, so, okay, like, YouTube took down 2 of my videos. Does that mean I'm right? Did I win now? Like, that's not how things work. You'll find that with a lot of QAnon people. They think that because the mainstream media and people are paying attention to it, like, that means that they're right, or that, like, they get banned. Like it's almost, in a way, like, I agree with the bans, don't get me wrong, but in a way it doesn't work, because when they believe that stuff like that means that they're on the right track. Like, oh, we got banned off Twitter, we must be getting too close. We're getting too close for them. That's why they banned us. Exactly. Censorship has become a badge of honor. You're Jack's wife? Jack Dorsey? Oh, can I get priority in the algorithm? I need some more followers on Twitter. But the sad fact still exists that many of my cousins and my sisters who believe in conspiracy shit are avid weed smokers, and they sit at home and listen to this shit. Yeah, I mean, weed's not for everybody. I used to smoke weed when I was like a teenager, but like, I had a bad reaction one time. Not like bad, like, I just got like super out of it one time when I smoked weed, and I haven't smoked probably over 10 years. But I mean, I don't have any issues with it. If you want to smoke weed, smoke weed. Predictions on Q gone wrong would be great. Toby, I did some videos. Yeah, I've gotten so many followers since then. A lot of people haven't seen it. If you go way back on my page, Toby, I might re-upload them too. I have probably 10 videos going over times that Q was just flat out wrong. But see, the thing about the Q movement now is like they don't even need Q. And Q doesn't really make predictions anymore. Like it's all very cryptic horse shit. You know what I mean? Shannon C, thank you so much for the $5. I will dance at your wedding if you ever have one. See, it's all you gotta do. $5, I'll dance at your wedding. But yeah, like Q doesn't make like flat out predictions anymore. Like probably the first 300 or 400 drops out of 4,000, he would make like straight on predictions. But then it became all this cryptic horse shit. But I do have a lot of TikToks on that. They're just older, probably from like, I don't know, back in August maybe. What do you think is the debunk that annoyed people the most? They don't like the truth about vaccines. They really think vaccines are bad. They don't like that. And they don't like anything. The one they don't like the most. Probably that and the symbolism stuff. They're really into symbols. Anytime, because they think like basically anything with like a triangle, or like a triangle inside a triangle. Like when you break down to them, like, hey, actually, well, this has that and that has that. And once they found out about this, like they just think that everybody in the history of ever has like a list of symbols. Like, oh, can't do that. That's pedophiles use that. Oh, can't do that. And also, what they always do is that there's this report from the FBI like 15 years ago about a few possible symbols that pedophiles use. Not even definite, just possible. Like they have that, and that's a real report. And they always put that next to a Photoshop thing that shows code words that pedophiles use, and that's completely false. And it's stuff like pizza, walnut sauce, all this stupid stuff that they accuse the Clintons of. And that was one of their big proofs to be like, see, it is true. And it's like, no, that's fake. And they really, when I made that TikTok explaining that whole thing, and I got a lot of salty feedback. And I got the same when I did the video on YouTube about it too. Somebody said that Tucker Carlson did a critique of what's his fuck Hassan Piker. So I gotta check that out. Why not? Why am I in cat mode?
All that masculinity, all that gender-neutral masculinity, things could get out of hand. So in the spirit of easing tensions and lowering the temperature at CNN a bit, we have no problem admitting for the record that Mr. Piker is one heaping, helping hunk of a man. We're not ashamed to say that at all. We have no problem admitting that. No problem whatsoever. All that masculinity.
Okay. Not the same. Hassan Piker destroys. That's from 2018. Oh, that's the only clip I see. Well, I'm glad that Tucker thinks that Hassan is...
All that gender-neutral masculinity, things could get out of hand.
Fuck.
So in the spirit of easing tensions and lowering the temperature at CNN a bit, we have no problem admitting for the record that Mr. Hiker is one heaping, helping hunk of a man. We're not ashamed to say that.
I mean, I'm sure many people would agree. What? What was the like, why was that even on Tucker's show? Tucker talks about the stupidest stuff. Like, I swear, during the tax cuts, he spent 3 days on a racist tree story. I shit you not. 3 days on racist trees during the most consequential time in Trump's hold on. Fix something here. Damn it. Stay. Stay. Yeah, but he spent 3 days on racist trees during the tax cuts. Man of the people. Like, he yeah. Who is Tucker? Tucker Carlson? You don't know who Tucker Carlson is? Gender neutral masculinity. Like, what? Like, I don't. Was that supposed to be like a diss? I don't know. Like, this man is oozing gender neutral masculinity. Like, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, racist trees. Yeah. Basically, it was a story. Like, what was it? Vox did a really good video talking about it. Basically, it was this golf course had put up these trees to lower the property value of like, because they were like the type of trees that catch on fire really easily. So the black neighborhood that was right across the street, it lowered the property value about it, or of it. And so, like, the people that were in the community, they complained about the trees that this golf course had put up. Like, this guy was completely racist, this golf course owner, and he put up these trees to intentionally lower the property value of these people's house. And of course, Tucker, instead of seeing like, wow, that's really screwed up of this golf course owner, he made a mockery of it and spent 3 nights talking about how the left is so easily triggered by everything, and now they're calling trees racist. You know what I mean? Like, it was really stupid. But, you know, he's Tucker Carlson, and, you know, he had a white nationalist at the time as his head writer, so of course he found a way to turn it into the left is bad. But yeah, 3 nights in a row, that was his lead story. Like, you know, the left is calling trees racist. What's next, I tell you? It's like, hey, Congress is voting on the most important bill in the Trump presidency. Can we maybe talk about that? But, you know, because he tries, his thing is he's a man of the people. Like Tucker Carlson, Swanson, Beauregard, whatever the hell his name is. He's got like 5 names, who has been loaded from birth, tries to, and wore a bow tie for way too long. Is not a man of the people in any way, shape, or form. Tucker and Hannity drive you crazy. Yeah, me too. I mean, at this point, they're almost middle of the road. It's so crazy. Like 2 years ago, Fox News was by far the worst pusher of propaganda. I mean, OAN and Newsmax and all this stuff. It wasn't really, you know, no one knew what that was. I don't even know if they existed at that point. I think they did, but they were very, very small. But now, you know, Tucker and Hannity are really bad, don't get me wrong. But I mean, they even have to take a backseat to the Newsmaxes of the world, but they by far have the biggest platform. I mean, Tucker's like the most, is the highest rated show in the country, I think. If not, it like him and Rachel Maddow kind of battle back and forth. Yeah, Trump's not getting his military send off, which you know just really pisses him off. You know that one just really, really pisses him off. Yeah, Fox is the most watched channel, and that is scary. There's a good there's a good subreddit called Fox Brain. I read through that sometimes, and it's, you know, like you see a lot of people, they'll talk about how their parents were you know, happy-go-lucky, this and that, and they started watching Fox News, and now they're getting like Facebook posts like Obama is a Muslim. You know what I mean? Like it's like the news you watch is it can have a very big effect on you and how you view the world. And that's what, you know, people don't go to news channels to get information. They just go to news channels to reaffirm what they already think. Like they already think this, that, and the other, and they want to hear Tucker tell them, and they'll be like, yeah, that's right. You know what I mean? Like they don't want to learn anything. The Roger Ailes documentary, and it's so weird because he was super paranoid and he basically projected it onto the viewers of Fox. Yeah, Roger Ailes was a crazy dude. Very crazy. I watched that documentary too. That was good. I watched that movie with what's her face? Margot Robbie. That was good too. But yeah, no, Roger Ailes built Fox News so that Watergate would never happen again. That was basically his plan. He wanted a station for Republicans' talking points. Bombshell, yeah. Bombshell was good. He wanted a news station for Republican talking points. He had a big hand. Roger Ailes had a big hand in getting Mitch McConnell elected too. Like Mitch McConnell was like a know-nothing from Kentucky, and Roger Ailes was like, "Shut up, do what I tell you, and I'll get you elected." And now us, the general public, have had to live with that shit. I mean, love him or hate him, Mitch McConnell's been one of the most influential, probably the most influential senator of our lifetime, and probably in Senate history, one of them, top 5, especially with the courts. And you can thank Roger Ailes for that. What do I think Q supporters are going to do once Biden is inaugurated? Honestly, I mean, some of them might jump ship. Some of them will jump ship, but honestly, like they have built-in excuses at this point. It's not going to matter. Like to them, it'll just mean that the plan has moved down the road. Something else that, you know, something will happen, or he'll say something in the speech. Like they have so many built-in narratives. Like there's so many levels to it that they'll somehow explain away how Biden being in office is actually good, because they need 120 days for the cabal to try to enact their agenda, so Trump will have more dirt on them. You know, they'll come up with something. I mean, you know, like just look, like basically what they do is like those, like I was showing you on Telegram, they'll all put out these theories, and they'll put out different stuff, and they'll basically take pieces and parts, and they call it baking. They'll bake a theory together where that, you know, makes the most sense, and, you know, to them. And that's kind of what they go with. Like, oh, this will happen because the Vatican did this. Well, this happened on this last Monday, and then Liz Cheney said this on CNN Tuesday. I saw this in a Disney movie. Put it all together. Bam, here's a new talking point. Trump actually is going to take them down on March 31st of 2022 once the cabal has implemented their plan, and they have, you know, a whole bunch of evidence. Because like I said, if you saw my explanation video of the storm, they only think they just need everything to fall into place one time. The storm, which is what they're all waiting for and what they're pushing towards, is a mass arrest event that happens all at one time. The storm happens, everybody in the cabal gets arrested, they get shipped to Guantanamo Bay, They go through military tribunals, and then they get murdered, put in jail forever. I think basically they get executed is the thing most of them go with. But, you know, they think if they can get everything to line up and they get it all in one time, you know, that's all they need. And so it's like, so that's why they keep, you know, kind of, you know, always falling back on something like, oh, this wasn't right, or because of this, or because of that. Like I said, the very first post that Q ever made was that Hillary Clinton was going to be arrested, or was about to be arrested, or was already detained, it was something like that. Basically, Hillary Clinton was already in custody. And that was the first post, and that she wasn't allowed to leave the country. And then it was Mueller was working with Trump. Like, that was the whole narrative. Mueller was working with Trump, and that they were going to take down the whole cabal. Clearly that didn't happen. I mean, and there's so many things that have gone wrong, you know, and but there's always, at this point, there's so many people and there's so many narratives. It's just baked in. They're never gonna, QAnon will be around, even if it changes the name, or it'll just be like this grand conspiracy. The brainwashing of my dad. Yeah, I think I seen the preview for that. That's about the dad who watches Fox News, right? But anyway, the same about the left. They say the same about the left being brainwashed by liberal media. Got to tell them everyone lives in a bubble. Move forward from there. Well, I mean, people on the left are definitely, there's people on the left that live in a bubble and, you know, are misinformed about things, and everybody has their biases. But there's just not the conspiratorial movement like there is on the right. And not everybody that has conservative values is disillusioned like that. Just that's the majority of the movement at this point. Yeah, there's plenty of people on the left that are just completely out of it. Like, what? No, that's not, you know. Didn't Q predict a massive power outage towards the beginning of COVID? Well, I don't remember that exactly, but they do think there's going to be... there's a thing Q said one time, like 10 days of darkness. So they always think like before the storm, possibly, there's going to be like 10 days of darkness, you know, and that'll like trigger it. Or maybe it's after, something like that. That when they reach the existential realization that they were tricked, they can radicalize them to the left. Yeah, that's the thing. Anons aren't far from, they're so close to getting it. Like, they understand like some of the like issues with society, but then they just have the completely wrong answers. They're like, the elites have too much power, the media sucks, and it's like, okay, and we need to take down the cabal of child worshipping Satanist pedophiles. It's like, I'm not sure if I'm on board with number 3 there. And maybe, I don't know, maybe like primary the bad people and, you know, get, you know, good politicians in there that don't take corporate PAC money and aren't a slave to Wall Street. Maybe we can do that instead of, you know, mass arrest of the cabal people. I don't know. Yeah, the Vatican thing. I saw that. I never really looked into it too much, but I saw, you know, I saw it on a couple of message boards. I'm talking about the Pope had been arrested. Dude, they have arrested the Pope so many times. You know what I mean? Like, they've arrested some popes and the QAnon people. The Wayfair thing, that was funny. That was probably my what was it? Amazing Polly. She was a conspiracy YouTuber. She got deplatformed, but she pushed that one pretty heavily. A lot of the people I know on Facebook pushed that one too. Anyway, I think I'm gonna call it a night. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Again, if you like my live streams and you hang out on YouTube, consider following me on Twitch. And if you want to support me, you can subscribe on Twitch. And if you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free Twitch subscription. So you can do that, and it's actually free. So you can support me on Twitch if you have Amazon Prime for free, and you get emojis. The links to that are in the description, of course. You can join my Discord, send me videos to possibly react to. Plus, I do like updates, different Q news. I put different stuff in there on the daily, and all the descriptions to all my social media are in the description of this video. You can support me on Patreon, all that stuff. My PayPal, support the stream, that's all in there. And I really appreciate every single one of you hanging out with me. It's very, very awesome. We can just chill here, bullshit about politics, talk about the crazy, and maybe save the world somehow. I don't know. Maybe we're saving the world one pilled person at a time. Who knows? But yeah, thanks so much. And yeah, hopefully I'm gonna try. I want to start streaming 4 or 5 nights a week. So yeah, I'm gonna really try to stick to a solid schedule. So hopefully I'll see y'all tomorrow night. If not, night after that for sure. But yeah, thanks so much, and peace, y'all.